About 1992, my wife and I at the time had the misfortune of losing our first child. It was a pretty dark time. And I was selling photocopiers, sharp photocopiers at the time out of Duncan. And I had a lot of contacts with First Nations, Mid-Island Tribal Council, which I don't think exists anymore, and a few others as well. And one day I had chanced in Chemainus to run into, I guess he would be considered an elder now, a guy by the name of Lloyd Halloran. At one point his partner had asked me in some travels had I had ever done a First Nations sweat. And I hadn't. And like I say, it was in pretty dark time. I was feeling lost. I had lost my first son. I was a father for like 2 or 3 hours. And one day I had brought some tobacco to Lloyd, and I was talking to him about the possibility of being of getting involved with a sweat. And he had said it wasn't an easy thing to do, and he would tell me when I was ready for it. About a year and a half later, I had actually really forgotten about the conversation, and I had popped in to see Lloyd at his carving studio, and we were talking about laser faxes were just coming out at the time, and he had just stopped short in the conversation. I was giving him a presentation on how the laser faxes were working. He says, "I think you're ready now. Would you like to join me in a sweat?" And we had set a date, and it was just, I guess, north of Chemainus, just north of Chemainus, or in between Chemainus and Duncan. I was brought into the lodge. I was given a cedar smoke bath, and I went into the sweat, and I had brought my bundle of colors in and burnt them in the fire and paid homage to the four cardinal directions, and then entered into the lodge itself with about 10 other people, I guess. And I'm not sure if I could do it again. It wasn't an easy thing to sit through. It was extremely uncomfortable. And a lot of times I had my face buried into the dirt, you know, calling on support from the elders. And it was one of the most interesting times of my life, and it certainly helped clear up a lot of the darkness that I was feeling.